and that's what locks it in gear. Can you guys see the teeth inside?
Yeah, can you take the main shaft out and pop one of those sliders off, or don't want to do that?
No.
Okay. No, you don't want to do
You have to press all. You have to press.
It's just the
What is it
the
that wears
fourth.
Oh, maybe I can get that one off.
That one will slide right off, won't it?
Yeah.
What is it that wears out and people say your synchronizer is going?
These synchro rings wear out.
Those have the teeth on them.
No, those are the synchro teeth.
Oh.
Yeah, that one slides right off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other reason for popping out of gear is that those little teeth get trashed. If the synchros are too worn, and you just trash them.
That's kind of extreme.
That
So
grinding sound you hear is not the gears of the
that's right.
It's those.
That's right. So
It's
yeah.
the little teeth
So
that grind.
as you start to engage, you can feel there's like friction between here, and what it's doing, this thing is locked to the main shaft, but this, like we said, these gears are free on the shaft. So as it starts to come over, we want to stop or slow down this gear or make it go the same speed as the gear that's driving it. So as it comes this way, at first it has a little friction, and the friction gets more and more as you push it on, and eventually, yeah, the synchro is a little bit rounded, and these things have a little bit of a bevel on them. Plus, the synchro ring is a little bit springy. See that it can crush down a little bit to let this thing go over.
And so the lightening of the mass of the gear allows it to slow down to get on there.
It allows it to slow down easier.
Easier to slow it down.
So then, when these things go together,
Sometimes.
then it goes in gear. I gotta line them up first. So that's going into gear. When it so like Sid says, when you hear the transmission grinding when you're shifting gears, it's these little tiny teeth making that noise. Because the gear, you're not grinding gears. The gears are all meshed all the time, and how those little tiny teeth can make that much noise is beyond me. And how they last more than 2 or 3 of those grinds before they break off. Well, these gears, the gears and those teeth are rock hard. These are made a little bit softer so that those teeth don't wear out. These are and always have been available new. These little teeth, they're not even available.
So those are the synchros that get replaced.
No, that's the slider. The synchro is these rings here. This is a synchro ring.
They're made to be replaced.
They're made to be replaced. We take that big ugly snap ring off, and inside there's some little gizmos, but essentially you take that off and put a new ring in there and put it back together.
So when you get a synchro job, you get the synchros replaced, but aren't these little gears at some point a little bit eroded from all the friction?
Yes, they are.
So what do you do?
Get a new transmission.
Have you found one brand of synchros seems to work better than others?
Yeah, well, but they don't seem to have brands, unfortunately. They come from unknown places, and who made them, I don't know. And some of them,
Bulgaria.
some of them are yeah, probably Bulgaria.
So if you bought some XY synchros, you wouldn't be able to buy XY synchros again next time.
That's right.
Okay.
So you kind of have to look at them and tell if they're going to work for you. They need to fit snugly underneath these teeth in order to have a little bit of friction there. They also, the shape of them, I just got some, and the shape was screwy-looey. They were, instead of being a little bit humped like that, which they need to be for this thing to ramp up, like you say, it has to have a little ramp to it. This has a ramp, and and this has to have a little ramp. The ones I got were square on top, and you could hardly put the stupid thing in gear. It would come up against this sharp thing, and eventually, if you forced it, these would squeeze down a little bit, and you could get it in gear. They were terrible. So you really have to look at them now.
But if you were ordering a set for a rebuild that you were going to do yourself, how would you know who to get them from or what to buy? Because quality control is coming down and get them from you, huh?
You ask Glenn.
I guess.
Order them and look at them if you don't like
I'd
it.
sure hate to
about-
go through
in
all
old
that
days-
and then have ones not work.
I get them from John Norman at Alpha Parts, but I check them. And every time there's some new reason you need to check them.
Buyer beware.
Maybe 10 years ago, you could buy them in genuine Alpha wrappers, or you could buy with aftermarket ones, and you couldn't really tell the difference. But now they're all aftermarket ones, and there are different ones, and I don't know what to tell you about getting the right ones.
This is a recent thing. That
Yeah.
Up until 6-8 months ago, we could still buy the original factory parts. They don't sell them.
So you're better off just
Alpha
flipping the
still
other
sells
ones
the sliders,
around
but they
and
don't sell the synchros.
not
Well-
just using what you have to buy?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. A lot of times, most of the time when I rebuild the transmissions, I'll only change the synchro rings on first, second, and maybe third. If they need it, if they look okay, when they get old, you can kind of see the ends of them, and you know also if they've been grinding that there's something wrong. But the ends of them start to get kind of shiny and worn out.
Well, would you be better off maybe moving one of the taller gear synchros up into
Well,
first and second?
that's definitely what we do with the teeth. Like Jim here says, when the second gear teeth from all that grinding, they get rounded off, and you want them to be nice and sharp to help it engage onto the sharpness of those teeth. So we'll press it off a fifth. These teeth are pressed onto the gears, so you can press them off, and they're all second, third, fourth, fifth are all the same teeth on all the gears. First gear has its own unique set of teeth, so you can't really change those. So if the first gear teeth are beat up, you have to go find another gear that has better teeth.
You can use the other ones on first gear.
Yeah, you
just
could.
fine.
But you have to use the innards.
You use the innards and you just make them look just like
Yeah.
the gears and all.
Yeah, the first gear doesn't work.
I don't know
anyway.
why I don't know why Alpha did that craziness.
Originally, they think they did. First gear was different because they said, well, you can't upshift into first, so the internal parts in here were made especially for downshifting from second to first or from neutral to first.
Yeah, they were made for the Targa Florio.
Yeah, maybe.
Or
so,
the Amelie maybe.
so they have a little bit different internals, but they don't seem to last any longer anyway. So you could put the teeth from the fifth gear on there.
Now
so
that
usually
is an important point, though, that with first, the way they design those synchros, it's designed to synchronize correctly when you're downshifting, right? Which is exactly the opposite of sitting still at a light and wanting to stick it from neutral directly into first.
No,
Sticking from
you're
yeah, it is.
downshifting.
It's the opposite direction. It's the opposite direction. The synchros, the little internal parts, don't provide any help going from neutral straight into first. There's zero effort there. From the little
They
parts,
actually-
the little
they
bands.
actually do shift better when you change them over.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of people have that habit of putting them in neutral and jamming them in first. My suggestion has always been don't do that. There's no reason to. You're just wasting motion. There's no reason to put your foot on the clutch. Just leave your foot on the clutch. but a lot of people don't like to leave their foot on the clutch.
No.
Wear out that throw out
Yeah, roll out the throw out bearing.
bearing's making noise.
You'll wear out your clutch. So
Yeah, right.
Don't stop.
Yeah, don't stop. Well, that's another good advice. That's right. First rule of Italian drive.
Is the slide aware? I mean, when you change the
Yeah,
synchro,
for
you
sure.
need to change the slide typically or not?
You need to look at them again. A lot of times I'll move the fifth in reverse. If the transmission's never been apart before, the fifth side, well, whoever ground into fifth pretty hard, so those are going to be in good shape. And the reverse side is never, it doesn't touch
Unused.
anything. It's unused. So you could move that one to first and second and put the bad one there. Or you could buy it.
They're available?
Yeah, those are available, and they seem to be of good quality. So
What's available then? The sliders?
these guys
And synchros are available.
and the synchro rings.
And nothing else.
But not the dog gears, not the...
No, not these little synchro teeth.
What
Oh.
about flipping the synchro rings? Is one side worse more than the other, right?
Yeah, but they
Sometimes.
see this one. It's kind of worn out underneath those teeth a little bit. See that line from kind of scraping back and forth. It's kind of worn out there, and the other side is worn out from the slider going over. People used to do that in the old days. I don't. It's not worth the bother.
It sure costs a lot more to take the transmission in and out and apart than it does to skip on to.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not. It's
Because
not
it will just wear out quickly.
Wait, you want to explain filler versus straight cut gears?
Yeah. First we'll show.
Noise versus minimal.
Here are some lightning gears. This is the first gear, and and here's the second gear.
They've been drilled out or?
They're drilled out and machined down. I get them done by this guy Merritt Carton. He's an old man, but he's a good machinist. Tom Sahinas can do them too, and Larry Dickman Jr. has a guy.
The deal was is that the old 4-speeds never wore out the synchro rings.
The old forks?
4 speeds
Oh, yeah.
didn't wear out synchro rings. Then they put a 5th gear on it, and they were moving. The synchros had to slow down all that extra mass. 5th gear. By lightening the gears, you can get the rotating mass back down to what a 4-speed was. And all of a sudden, the synchro rings don't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
They shift faster, and they will last twice as long.
This.
How many gears do you need to lighten?
You got to
before-
do them all. You can't just do one gear because these things are constant mesh. The whole thing's got to slow down. The synchro ring's just not slowing first gear down. It's slowing down the counter shaft. It's slowing down everything.
Right. All the gears have inertia because they're all spinning together.
So for a road car that you use as an occasional car, is it worth doing it? I mean, what's the thought about it?
How many miles are you going to put on the car?
Typically probably a couple of thousand a year. It's not going
And
to
it
be.
might not be worth it, but it sure shifts a lot.
It feels better. I guess that's the question. Do you actually feel it?
Yeah.
Feel a difference?
Weight reduction.
The first gear is almost a pound off of first gear.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of weight.
If you got to do a transmission, you might as well lighten the gears. In other words.
This thing is almost a pound lighter, and this thing, less than a half a pound. And that's why I tell people, because it costs like $80, $90 each gear. I usually just do first and second because the littler the gear, the less weight you're going to get off it. And by the time you spend
Marginal return.
How many did you do, Stefan?
I did all of them.
How many? How many is all?
Well,
I
the
do
smallest
first-
one we didn't do.
I do first, second, third, reverse, and 5th. because fifth is a huge gear. You can get a lot of weight out of fifth.
Fifth gear on the, oh yeah,
shaft too.
fifth gear on the counter shaft,
Lots
yeah.
of those can get done too.
If you want to get it back to the weight of a 4-speed, you got to do all the gears.
How many
All the men normally.
Gets more expensive with marginal
He
returns.
wants to do them all, yeah. But yeah, you're getting
Marginal
the-
returns with a lot more money.
Yeah.